Feels good to see the world getting loose. Feels good to see the world getting loose. I don't know about you, Sack Noel. I don't know about you, Phenom. I don't know about you, White Shadow. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I'm 2 plus 2, I'm for sure. You down, I'm down, baby, let's go. You stop, you drop, baby, then roll. You twerk, you pop, booty so swole. I'd hate me too if I were you. And when it comes to billions, I'll take 2. It's only one life, you don't get 2. So live life, don't let it live you.
I got a pocket full of $100 bills. Put on a jacket, cause these diamonds give you chills. 2 shots I'm running, 2 out I'm stunning tonight. Yeah. Look in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is he? So many whips and cribs, I'm losing track of keys. Ooh, up to something. Ooh, yeah, I love it, alright.
Yeah, I'm drinking out the bottle. Get loose, hanging with supermodels. Get loose, feel like I hit the lotto. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling damn good here on a Monday afternoon. Yes, live from the Naples Wealth Planning Studio in Tampa, Florida, the division of Tampa, Florida. Thanks to Brian Bruno for Naples Wealth Planning, and we thank you all for tuning in to Martinez Company as Ryan Neff joins me this evening for a short and condensed Martinez Company as the music plays on and on and on, because it's always a good time. So thank you all for joining in here, a condensed version as the NFL was hot, active, crazy, just absolutely insane kind of a day. Mickey, our good friend here, Mickey Delaney, what's up? There's no Dave. Where'd you get Dave from? That's Ryan. That would be the Ryan F. Mickey. I know it's been a while, Mickey. It's been a while. It's not Dave. and there he goes. Sorry, Ryan. And so it's Ryan with Mickey. We understood it. Joe Q, what's up, Joe? Good times as always.
Yeah.
Mickey, yeah, I love this song too, Mickey. Trust me, I love this song. I would play it forever in a day because it's the best party song you could possibly get down to. And who knows, I might switch up a couple of music up, but we are running commercial free just to let everyone know. And also, let me throw up here on the screen. Let me fix a couple things here. Let me adjust this particular number, which may be permanent, maybe something, maybe a little bit different. Who knows? But you guys will see a new number up there on the screen. So if you guys want to call in or text to the show, yes, it is 727-858-6650, 727-858-6650. You guys can text in or make your comments here live on the social media networks. And once again, we thank you all for joining in. Don't forget, that is the number you guys can call in or send in your text. Therefore, it comes directly to the phone, 727-858-6650. And thanks to Mickey again, Joe Q joining it, Joey B in the house here, Martinez Company, Neff. What's up? You're all back? Listen, we're back. And now I just got to leave with that sounder, for the moment. But yes, we are back for, at least for the moment here, condensed version of Martinez Company right after me, not on this particular network, but over on the sports radio side. It is Lloyd Vance with Lloyd Vance's Insider Football over on Sports Radio 102.9 The Game. And he will be on with his guest, Jovan Alford, if I remember correctly. So, but there's lots and lots to talk about things happening here. Joe Q says, watching while I work, don't tell my boss. Listen, I won't. We'll keep it a secret. Don't worry about it, Joe. We won't tell him the number either to call. It's 727-858-6650. We'll keep that very, very hush. So don't worry about it. Brian, who needs Rich? Listen, Mickey, we talked about this, Mickey. We talked about this, but it's okay. He will be back. Joe Q says, sounding like Jim Boeheim there with the, listen, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. So Joey B says, next thing we'll see Barkley wearing orange headphones during pregame warmups. It happened. It could happen. Rick Marcus says, real man of genius, Ryan and Angel. What's up, Rick, the great guy from Southwest. You guys want to fly? fly southwest. So yes, we are live here at the Naples Wealth Planning Studio. You guys need some financial planning? You go to NaplesWealthFinancialPlanning.com and you guys can end up doing that. And Mickey says, oh boy, I'm your boss, Joe Q, you're fired. Well, Mickey, it might work. Maybe not. Who knows? But anyways, yes, we are here for a couple of minutes this evening as we get to have some fun. If you guys haven't seen, yes, I've been sharing some duties in the morning with Pete Shepard in the Pete Shepard Show on TBSN. So you'll probably see me a lot more during the morning hours with Pete and having fun with him as we did today. We'll get the video element fixed with Pete so you guys can see me right next to Pete and we have fun. So I've been doing the phoner. We tried a couple of things over the weekend. Didn't work to our liking, so we'll get it there. We will get it there. Joe Q says, there will be an easy grievance to win, Mickey, LOL, that it will be. That it will be. But no, listen, there's lots of stuff. Ryan, obviously, thank you for joining me here this evening. And by the way, speaking of, hold on for a second. Sir, first of all, your proper introduction.
I'm Ryan F. It's great to be with everybody this evening. Obviously, the big story today, NFL free agency. As you can see, I'm here in my Manhattan penthouse, overlooking the city skyline, right above the NFL offices. So, yeah, so much going on. It was like bam, 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 stuff coming in like crazy. So, some interesting things went down today, as I'm sure it will go in all week. All week, it's going to be bam, 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 bam. And there's still a lot of good free agents out there that haven't signed with anybody.
Yeah, a lot of them. By the way, you guys want to call in as I put up there, the temporary number here will be 727-858-6650 or send in your text message as well. Of course, you can right here through the social medias, but 727-858-6650. Yeah. So, yeah, listen, I didn't... There was a sounder play with Tiki Barber. I didn't have the chance to load up a lot of stuff as we kind of did this on the fly tonight, but Tiki Barber said, Ryan, that if Saquon Barkley became a Philadelphia Eagle, that he would burn, or maybe people, maybe not Tiki himself. Let me not put words into his mouth, but he did mention that maybe fans or people will burn Saquon's jersey. Okay, I think that's a little bit too much to actually say that you're going to burn someone's jersey, because we've seen it many times before, right? How people hate that expression. Why they hate when the Giants, obviously, they wanted to franchise him if they could, I guess. They weren't believing him too much. He comes with injuries. We know this. It's not anything new. It's not a surprise or anything else. So you figured, all right, he's not going to be with the New York Giants. Eagles wrap him up for what, 4 years, 3 years, $37.75 million. Obviously, there's going to be incentives and bonuses as well. It's the first time since the Chip Kelly era that the Eagles finally decided to go after a running back. But it adds to what the Eagles have at the moment. So big, to me, pretty big splash by the Eagles going after Saquon.
Yeah, I mean, it's been mixed reviews. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, if he can stay healthy, and that's the key, if he can stay healthy, because he does tend to be injury prone behind that offensive line. Now, look, if the Eagles don't utilize him the way they should utilize him,
right,
then they've just pissed away money. But again, it's bad. It's 50-50 right now on social media. Now, obviously, the Giants, they let him walk for nothing. So it has to tell you a little bit. It has to tell you something. They didn't get jack shit for him, pardon my French. But we'll see. I mean, the jury's still out. It's to be determined. And again, when he's healthy, he's a stud. When he gets hurt and he's out for a little while, it'll be the same old song and dance. So we'll just have to see. But again, the two things for me going into this season: can he stay healthy, and are they gonna run a football, Angel? Because we've seen what Nick Sirianni the last couple of years run the ball effectively in the beginning of the season. Then they tail away from it for some odd reason. I don't know. Maybe Kellen Moore will be different, being the offensive coordinator. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just going to sit back, see what happens, and then see what kind of gains they get on their return. Or return, whatever the phrase is.
Well, it's also funny, too, because how is it possible? And Pete and I talked about this morning. How is it possible that it used to be before, there was no such thing as, oh, by the way, you can't tamper, right? But now there's a legal tampering period. Because again, we change the rules up all the time. So I find it, I shouldn't say shockingly, because I don't anymore. Nothing shocks me whatever Roger Goodell wants to end up doing. But sometimes it just baffles the mind where when the hell did we made it a legal tampering period, which is whatever, just ungodly ridiculous. Not one way or the other. Rick says, I just hope they keep Hassan Reddick. I think they will, Rick. I think they will. I don't think there's any reason why you want to get rid of him in the first place. The other one that I think was not even a surprise either, Fletcher Cox, of course, decided to retire as a Philadelphia Eagle, 13 seasons in. He was also getting to the point where it was just getting, he was starting to feel it. And I think, to me, when you know that it's time for you to decide to hang up the spikes, the cleats, whatever you want to call them, and say, you know what, this is it. And seeing the fact that Jason Kelce also decided to retire, yeah, it's pretty big. And I think right moves, I believe, by both players if they decide to want to do that. The only thing that still worries me, is that possibly, just possibly, could we see our former center, who's now retired, going to a current guy's team here that's the current Super Bowl champions. That's just my thought. I almost kind of feel like Jason Kelce, he retired. There's a new baby on the way, probably his fourth daughter, because he already has three, unless he finally busts out a boy. And congratulations either way to them, and I hope the baby's healthy. But I'm just warning when it comes to that stuff. Well, could you, Ryan, and it hasn't been discussed because obviously I've been off for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever it was, but could it possibly be that when Kelce was looking up and was looking at the lights and watching his brother win a third ring, could it possibly be that he was like, you know what? I could retire and could possibly become the new center for the Chiefs and could possibly win a second ring before I really decide to retire?
I think he's done. I don't think he's coming back. It would take a hell of a lot of money. And, that's the only destination I could see him going to play with his brother. But I think he's done. It's like I said last week on Thursday. Look, your mind wants to, man. I mean, your mind does not want to give up.
Right.
It's all you've known. It's all you've known. But the body, when the body starts talking to you like, nah, can't do it. Look at John Elway. I mean, he played the game for 16 seasons. And in his press conference, he said the mind is there, the mind wants to, but the body just can't do it anymore. Kelce, Fletcher Cox, when you have some time off, we're what now, like 4 or 5 weeks removed from the Super Bowl, and sometimes the desire is not there anymore. Do you really want to go through it again? Do you want to go through off season? Do you want to go through the draft, see who we get? Do you want to go through OTAs? Do you want to go through another camp? And again, the mind says yes, right, but eventually the body catches up and says, man, I can't do it anymore. So kudos to both of those guys. They had tremendous careers, and I think both of them are done, Angel. I really do.
All right. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. None. I mean, and we've seen people obviously retired, then they come back, and I agree that it's time for when you need to walk away. That's just it. Period. Joey B says, by the way, another thing, I just real quick here, as not only is it 72 degrees here in beautiful Tampa, Florida, but also the sun is out later. It is 6:57 in the evening, and that sun is still out here, as I can see right out my studio window, which is absolutely terrific, the way it needs to be. But Joey B says, legal tampering, LOL. NFL is as corrupt and ass backwards as it gets. Truth. Absolutely truth. Rick says this is probably the last year for Travis. I think so. I think, truthfully, if they walk away with number 4, I think that'll be, I mean, you walk away, how many guys can say he walked away with 3? So I agree. It may be Travis's last year. Joey B says, Angel Neff, what's more surprising? Wilson to Pittsburgh, Barkley to the Eagles, or Mayfield staying in Tampa for $100 million? What the F? You know what? I'm going to leave that up there because I will say Russell Wilson was a surprise to me, at least, going to Pittsburgh. Because you got to think about it, Ryan. What is Tomlin thinking when he said he was on board with Kenny Pickett and that he wanted to train Kenny Pickett, he wanted to get him right, he wanted to make him the starting QB, and then it's almost like in this hand, there's nothing, right? But in this hand, there's a phone, and I just called, and I got who I wanted. So Russell Wilson is not going to be, in my opinion, and maybe in others' opinion, a backup quarterback. He wants to be the starter. Pete mentioned this morning in a really good spot is that obviously Russell is not going to be a backup quarterback to anyone. And let's just say he does have a good training camp, then what? Because if let's say Kenny Pickett, pretty much stands out and looks better than Russell Wilson, will then Mike Tomlin still go with Russell Wilson?
That's the query, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, who's to say Russell Wilson is going to be the starter? Kenny Pickett might light the world on fire. So does Russell Wilson, have the fortitude to be a backup? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. The surprise to me was Barkley going to the Eagles, to be quite honest with you. I know the Giants let him walk. I'm sure the Giants are not happy about him going to a division rival. But, Mayfield staying in Tampa Bay, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, you heard all along, it was either Atlanta or Pittsburgh. But once the Atlanta talks with Kirk Cousins ramped up, I sort of felt like Wilson was going to go to Pittsburgh. But, Barkley going to the Eagles, man. But again, he's a Pennsylvania guy.
Yes.
He grew up in the Allentown area. He went to Whitehall High School, which is in Allentown. Then he went to Penn State. And then, of course, he goes to the Giants, and now he's home. So, but it was still a surprise to me. I don't even think that the Giants thought, had they just let him walk, he would probably sign with Philly. I didn't think that would happen. I don't think they thought that would happen. So, Barkley to the Eagles, to me, is the biggest surprise.
Now, Mayfield staying in Tampa for $100 million, which this one I kind of found amusing when he said it, was that he stated that he was not going to give the hometown discount to Tampa. Mind you, also, there weren't many suitors, and if I remember, the only suitor was Tampa. So then it was kind of like, okay, all right, I see that the market's kind of dry. And since it was dried up, then you stay in Tampa, 3 years, $100 million. The only thing is Dave Canales made him a better quarterback last season for Tampa Bay. Dave Canales is now the head coach for your Carolina Panthers. So now, does Baker Mayfield have the season of 2023, or does Baker Mayfield go back to the season of, 2021?
Well, I think the reason why Baker wanted to stay was because that division sucks. I mean, let's be honest. New Orleans let Michael Thomas walk. New Orleans is in a bit of a transition. I know Kirk Cousins is going to Atlanta,
right?
But we saw how that worked out in Minnesota. That experiment didn't work. I mean, he's 36 years old. Mm-hmm. And then you had Carolina, which is just a dumpster fire. So, when Baker plays within himself and he gets it to the playmakers, he's fine. But when he gets pressure on him and he gets himself in trouble, that is when it all goes to hell. So, look, Angel, to me, even a bigger surprise, Barkley with the Eagles, was Mike Evans staying in Tampa Bay. That, to me, so far is the biggest surprise to me, period, because I did not think that he was going to stay in Tampa. I thought he would roll. Hey, but maybe he's got a good rapport with Baker, obviously. So, well, again, it's to be determined, my friend. You're laughing in the background there, so somebody must have thrown something out there.
No, what cracked me up is so you have the run-on words, correct?
The run-on words, okay,
yeah, okay. So when you mentioned it, just what made me giggle was you mentioned something and playing almost like with himself, and so that there it made me giggle. Sorry, yes, I know it's childish. Okay. But it just made me giggle because it was almost a run on words that way. Joe Q says legal tampering equals We know you're talking anyway, so go right ahead, which is true. It is absolutely true. Come on. Who doesn't, when the season ends, right? The next day, Super Bowl is over before the end, so-called, of the former season, people are already talking. Even though the NFL once again says that they don't have or they don't like for people to talk, you know everybody talks. You're out of your mind. You think these people aren't going back and forth. Look at LeBron. What he did with before he went to Miami. How many people was he, stringing together and saying, hey, if you go, I go. You go, he goes. It happens. So enough with this whole thing about they turn a blind eye and have all that happy horse crap. Russell Wilson, Denver paying him $38 million a season. Pittsburgh only has to pay him $1 million for the season. Listen, I think Russell Wilson, at least for the next 2 years, I guess we can have the Russell Wilson / Bobby Bonilla day because of Denver and how much they forked out. And not even to include, they're going to have, 5 or 6 seasons, you would think, right, at this point, before they can even do anything whatsoever because what they gave up for Sean Payton and what they gave to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, Christ, look at what Cleveland gave up for Deshaun Watson.
Correct.
So both came to bite him in the butt. Now, look, Russell Wilson was never Peyton's guy anyway. So he wanted him out of there. He did everything to run him off. Obviously the organization listened. And last season it wasn't like Russell had a horrible season. It was pedestrian. But look, maybe it changes scenery. Maybe he goes to Pittsburgh and balls out, dude. Who knows? We'll see. But Lord knows what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson and some of these other guys. All it takes is one injury, Angel. Just ask the New York Jets.
It does. Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second along with Joe Flacco. But for the moment, we have former Chargers running back Austin
Eckler.
Eckler, yep, is signing with the Commanders on a 2-year deal worth up to $11.43 million. Listen, it's been a crazy day. It's been quite wild. Joey B says Buster Mayfield for $100 million. Cannot believe Tampa paid him that much to stay. $100 million to Mayfield, pissing money away. Yeah, it is. Mickey says, I'll bring up Mickey's comment. More NFL news. Giants train for edge Brian Burns per the rap sheet. Yep, Burns gets a 5-year deal worth $150 million max with $87.5 million guaranteed. All this guaranteed money is absolutely insane to me. Rick Marcus says Cousins $180 million shocks me. I think so too. Because before we get back to Joe Flacco here in the if Cleveland decides to bring him back, as he stated, he does not want to be a backup quarterback. So that's interesting for Cleveland if it happens. Who else? Joe Q says, more shocking than the Steelers are paying almost minimum. Other two were rumors that were true. So it's just incredible to me. All this stuff that's happening, not as much as incredible. It's just how much money was paid out and then what you have to do to kind of make that back. Steelers, they got him literally on not even a bench note. Almost like hey, Denver, I owe you something is what it comes down to. But whatever. Mickey says Carolina sent Burns to New York for a 2 and a 5 rounder. Yep, that they did. Joe Q, $33 million is mid-range for a quarterback nowadays. And that's crazy to think. Rick says Baker stayed because his wife told him to. Well, now that would be interesting. Well, I mean, listen, for all intents and purposes, folks, welcome to Tampa, Florida, where usually in the wintertime, we average between 75 and 80 degrees. Not so much this year with El Nino, who decided to disrupt everything and make it one of the chillier winters here in a long time. But thankfully, it was in the 80s over the weekend. We've got a couple of nice days, 72, 75, 78, and then we're back in the mid-80s by next week. This accurate forecast brought to you by Naples Wealth Financial Planning, where you too can, listen, you just stocks, annuities, bonds, NaplesWealthPlanning.com. Visit it, like it, love it, as we do here in the Tampa studio. So 49ers signing rusher Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
But the 49ers, they're trying. You got to give them kind of a try one. Joey B says, and also Kirk Cousins to Atlanta for 4 years. He'll be 40 at the end of that contract. Ridiculous. But they're giving him the money, Joey.
And he's coming off an Achilles injury.
Yep. Yepers. Cousin guaranteed millions between Vikings and Falcons, almost $200 million. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Oh.
It's yes.
And look, Dak Prescott's in negotiations to sign whatever contract. So he's sitting back looking at all this going, And Jerry Jones is going to give it to him. So we're talking about $60 million a year.
That we are. Yep. Mickey, as you just brought it up, Xavier McKinney, 4 years, $68 million. Just as you mentioned it. But it just, to me, going back to Cleveland for a second, they're starting QB if healthy, if all goes well. And then he comes in. Joe Flacco would be on the shelf once again for someone if somebody decides to pick him up. Who knows? Here's an interesting one. If Minnesota decides not to draft, which it seems like by letting Kirk Cousins walk, do they pick up one of the ones that are coming up in this year's draft? But we know the next 2 years in the NCAA men's football, they're loaded with upcoming quarterbacks. Or do you then call Joe Flacco and say, hey, Joe, can we borrow your services for 1 year at, let's just say, $30 million?
Why not go Justin Fields?
True.
I mean, Justin Fields is good. I mean, he's going to be out of Chicago. Unless at the 11th hour they sign him. But if Chicago lets him walk, obviously you have the number one pick. I mean, if they keep him, I can see him trading out of the number one pick. But if they get rid of him, are they going to let him walk? Probably not. Are they going to let him go to Minnesota? Probably not. Look, Minnesota's in a bind. I still have Joshua Dobbs, I believe. They'll probably release Joshua Dobbs. And I can't remember the one quarterback's name where I think it was Angel and I were making fun of him because of the college that he went to. He was like the third string quarterback. Can't remember his name, unfortunately. But Minnesota's in a quandary here. Because right now, they have no quarterback. And Mickey Delaney says safety Geno Stone to sign with the Bengals. Yes, I saw that, Mickey. I'm keeping up on it too, but thanks for the report.
Hey, Mickey's doing a good job.
That's right. That's Mickey. The MD. I'm gonna call him MD. He is the MD of football. But yeah, where was I? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the Minnesota Vikings. They're in a quandary, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, solid defense. You still have Justin Jefferson. You still have Hawkinson.
Right.
So we'll see. They still need a running back. I know they signed a running back today, and I can't remember the guy's name. But obviously, probably Chicago's not going to trade him within the division.
Probably.
I have no idea where Minnesota will go for a quarterback, man. I really don't, because there's really not a lot out there. So they're kind of, Josh Dobbs should get 44? No. Joey B, put down whatever you're smoking, because that's not going to happen. So
it's the Colorado good stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, either way, it's just there's so many of the variables, so many things that are going on. Who knows what's going to be good, what's not going to be good. There's so much going on. Fuji says, "Hey, all the pals are here." The pals, Fuji. That's what you come with is the pals.
Is he smoking Pall Malls? Is that what he's
I don't
saying?
know. Is this Is this the police athletic league? Which one is it? As Joey B says, Fuji. By the way, speaking of, what is it? Fuji's Miracle Minutes or something like that for 5 minutes or nostalgia something?
Nostalgia 5 with Fuji.
There you go.
Fuji's Nostalgia 5 or whatever the hell he's calling it. I can't remember. Nostalgia is in the title. Nostalgia 5. I think it's Nostalgia 5 with Fuji. I'm sure he will put in a comment. I think it's Nostalgia 5 with Fuji.
All right.
So I'm sure he'll comment it. Oh,
yes.
another signing that earlier today, which I thought was kind of interesting, was the Packers signed Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Obviously with the Raiders. Obviously they're letting Aaron Jones go. But now what do you do with A.J. Dillon? Do you keep him as the backup again? He's not going to want to play backup. So, I mean, Josh Jacobs is going to be the workhorse. That takes a huge amount of pressure off of Jordan Love, just from the standpoint of, Green Bay's running game, which stank last year. That was supposed to be the strength of their offense. So now they actually have a good running game. And I see you laughing. I'm not even looking at the comments. I'm trying to talk here. What do we got here? Joey B says, Fuji Nostalgia 5. What is that? 5 minutes in Wawa with Fuji YouTube segment. Yeah, or along the shores of the Delaware. So, Austin Eckler to the Washington Commanders. Yes, we already saw that. That's an interesting one too, Angel. Obviously, Antonio Gibson's not going to be there anymore. I think Gibson went. Where was he going? Was he going to the Giants? I'd have to look it up. But Eckler to the Commanders. Does he really think he's going to have a better shot at winning something in Washington, other than with the Chargers? I don't know, unless Harbaugh wants to bring in his own guy. So, but that was another interesting one that I saw. There's so much stuff going on right now with free agency. It's silly season right now.
See,
and it's hard to keep up with because different things come in. Yeah, I mean, Raiders add Minshew to vie for quarterback job. Just saw that. So Gardner Minshew no longer with the Indianapolis Colts. The Minstash, as I call him, he is now with the Raiders. So, I hope he wins the job, to be quite honest with you, because I think he's a decent quarterback.
That hopefully will. Mike Fuji says Nostalgia 5 with Fuji.
Yeah,
okay. And then Fuji Nostalgia 5, what is that? 5 days in a life and day of Fuji during Eagles game week. YouTube channel coming soon. That may not actually be a bad thing there. Fuji, pay attention to that one, Fuji. Let me bring it back up to you there, Fuji. Write that down. Screenshot it. Whatever you got to do. At 5 days in a life of Fuji during an Eagles game week. Yeah. You talk about someone just losing his mind. That'd be it. Fuji says Gibson to the Pats. And Joey B follows up with Fuji Nostalgia 5. What is that? Well, here's another one. 5 Phillies games in 5 nights with Fuji Challenge. YouTube challenge. Listen, see, he's quick. Joey B is quick. But how about Mac Jones going home to Jacksonville? That's another one where, and the Patriots, obviously you could see that it wasn't going to happen. Obviously Belichick didn't like him. That was more than the obvious. Now the Patriots seem obviously not to like him either because they sent him down to Jacksonville. So he'll be behind Trevor Lawrence as he dealt with a little bit of an injury. So is it, Ryan, not such a bad move for Jacksonville?
I mean, fresh start. Obviously it didn't work in New England. I've seen things like, well, finally Jacksonville has a quarterback to push Trevor Lawrence. Come on, man. Knock it off. Stop it with that stuff. Please. I mean, did you see Mac Jones over the last couple of years? He's not going to push Trevor Lawrence for the starting job. So maybe Mac Jones, back up for a year, learns how to read a defense, maybe learn the ins and outs of it. So obviously a little bit of insurance because he has experience as a starter, Angel. Because, Trevor, the kid's 6'6", he weighs 220 pounds.
Yeah.
So he was a little bit banged up this year, but there's no way in hell Mac Jones is going to displace Trevor Lawrence for the starting quarterback position there.
Yeah, no, I seriously doubt that one. By the way, Joey B's coming up with some good ones here. As he says, and hold on, let me. Well, I'm going to read this one first, and then I want you to see the oopsie in here. Joey B says, Nostalgia 5, the name of Fuji's new underground nightclub in Philly. But how do you screw up your own stuff here? Let me go back. Let me go back. First, he says Nostalgia 5 with Fuji. Then you go back, 5 minutes of Nostalgia Philly Sports. Okay, Fuji, which one is it? You just confused everyone who was trying to figure out what you're doing here. So, and he said
he's just explaining to people what it is. So the name is Nostalgia 5 with Fuji, but then he's explaining to you what the show is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 5 minutes of nostalgia of Philly sports.
Okay. As long as you said it, it makes sense to me. But okay. All right. That's what I'm going with. That's where I'm going. And he says he's Clearwater bound for St. Patty's Day. I guess the luck of the Irish will be down here. By the way, the Phillies tickets have been hard, super hard to come by. Let me express the word again. Super hard to come by, unless you go during the week. And even then, it's been a hard ticket to get here. But it's because, not too many fancy moves by the Phillies. Did some smart moves. I know at one point they were thinking about Blake Snell. And unfortunately, so now here we go. We got it all straightened out. Nostalgic 5 with Fuji. And once again, we change. But he says, thank you, Ryan. There you go. Goodness gracious. Do you even know, Fuji? What is your show name? Do you know it? That's all I want to know. I know it's brought to you by Tony Cotillo, but I'm trying to figure it all out here. You're confusing me, son. Confusing me. Anyways, don't forget, by the way, you are listening to Martinez Company here, a special night. Quick segment this evening. No commercials. We are commercial free for the moment, at least. And brought to you by Naples Wealth Planning. If you guys want to find a better way to financial freedom, our group of experienced advisors specialize in building custom tailored investment strategies that meet your financial planning goals. Visit NaplesWealthPlanning.com so you too can invest into your future. My future? My investments? Listen, if someone knows the magical numbers to the lottery, that's my future.
I'll be working till I'm 90. So hopefully doing this. Just we'll be in walkers. We'll have to change our diapers after every segment. So
it might happen.
And Fuji's going to be in Clearwater. The nostalgia.
See, I'm not the only one here.
The Nostalgia 5 with Fuji. I'm sure Mike Fuji will be sampling 5 different kinds of beer that are colored green.
Okay. Hold on. This is this is the absolute winner. This is good. Nostalgia 5, the new strip club opening in the spring of 2026 in Kensington, toothless and topless. For those who don't know, just put in Kensington, and then you'll understand the reason why. That is an absolute favorite by Joey B. He's got some great ones. That's the best one by far. Nostalgia 5, the new sports bar and grill at the Villages in Ocala. And Fuji supplies the colored loofahs. That's another good one too. But that one with the Kensington, that someone's going to, Joey B, I'm just going to tell you right now, you might go ahead and trademark that one because that's going to make a run on social media. Guaranteed it's going to make a run. That's a good one. I got to give it to that's a good one. So yes, we are commercial free here on for just a few more minutes. It is 7:21 here on the East Coast. Still plenty of sunshine as I look out the Naples Wealth Planning Tampa Division studio window. It is just an absolute beautiful thing. 72 degrees and nothing but getting warmer from this point. But I guess quickly, I'm pretty sure there'll be more breaking news throughout the evening. There'll be things to be shared out there and all the good happy horse stuff. Don't forget that after, not on this particular network, but on overall Sports Radio 102.9 The Game, it is Lloyd Vance with his guest, Javon Alford. That'll start at 8 p.m. If you guys want to hear more football, you want to hear more breakdown, join Lloyd and Joan over on Sports Radio 102.9 The Game. You guys can hear it through the apps or go right to the website, broadstsouth.com, and view it that way. By the way, if you want to send a text in or call in, as we got about 5 more minutes or so left here on the show, 727-858-6650, 727-858-6650. So, I'm trying to think, was there another interesting one that came in? I know a couple of them came before midnight, which it seemed, I guess, kind of odd, but not really odd. So it makes you really think, then was it okay if you did it a minute before midnight? Then technically, legally, you weren't tampering, but you were tampering because you couldn't do anything until after 4 o'clock today?
I said this last Thursday. I just find it odd, and you guys just reiterated today that tampering is illegal, but there's legal tampering. They should come up with another name for it because it shouldn't be legal tampering. You know how stupid that sounds? Legal tampering. That's like if you're in the tire business and you retire from the tire business, you don't want to use the term retire because it sounds like you're upping for more time. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's just a joke. Oh yeah, February 11th is the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's over. No, that's not the end of our season. That's not the end of our season. The end of the 2023-2024 season is March whatever. You know how dumb that is?
But you're right there in New York. You're in your new penthouse in New York. You're right down the street from Goodell's office. Just stop by and let him know. Exactly.
He's not taking my calls.
He ain't taking mine either, so don't feel bad. Joey B says Fuji versus the Indy Colts Insider a couple years ago. The number one, the nostalgic 5 episodes of Broad Street South. That is true.
Couldn't shut either one of them up that night.
You sure couldn't.
Like none of them.
You sure could. That was the best battle royale. The best part was Michael, when he was going back and forth for Fuji would say something. Michael was like, okay, your turn. And then he crossed his arms. Like, all he needed was a dance floor, some breakdance moves, and it would have been the best thing ever. That was absolutely terrific. Yes, Zach Ertz to Washington. I'm not fond of that one, I will say. I know the Eagles really had no intention of bringing him back. I thought for a second they probably were, but we'll see. Obviously, with the Commanders being a rebuild, we shall see what ends up happening. Fuji versus the city of Indianapolis coming soon to Amazon Prime. That would be from Joey B. That would be beyond interesting. So Joey, would that well, Amazon? Yeah, I guess it would be pay-per-view if it's Amazon Prime, unless you end up paying for it. But that actually wouldn't be too bad. That might sell. It might sell a little bit.
Who's Washington's quarterback, though? They've got a dilemma, too.
That'd be me.
Sam Howell's not the answer there. So, I mean, they can sign Ertz. They can sign Eckler. They let Gibson go the whole 9 yards. But who's going to get these guys the ball?
Listen, to answer your question, all right, I know a lot of people are wondering why I haven't been on air. And well, it was just exposed by Ryan there. So I didn't want to say it, but the Commanders called me up and they said, how is your arm? And I said, it's going to be, yes, it's going to be fine. So I told him, I said, okay, well, it's going to be good. I think I can do it for a 53-year-old guy. I'm pretty sure I can throw the ball pretty good. So we've been working. So far, I've gone from throwing it from the half-yard line to the 2-yard line. So I'm getting there. So I will be the new Commanders QB. But yes, as you were saying.
No. Throwing a football is different than throwing a burrito.
Okay. It's the Spanish thing. I get it.
You know what we haven't seen today?
Yes.
We haven't seen the cicada angle. We haven't seen the John Cicada camera angle.
No. And unfortunately, you won't see it because I forgot to activate it. I forgot to activate it, and so that's why you won't see it. But you should re-air that episode. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll look it up in the archives and see. That was quite the moment. Fuji, I tried searching back on YouTube. Whoops, hold on. I tried searching back on YouTube for it. Hard to find. Well, maybe not. I'll see. I'll see if I can look it up in the deep archives and go from there. Oh, and then Joey B says, Devin Studio B, who should be the Bears QB? Keep Fields or try someone else? Well, Fields is gone. He's gone. And Matt Eberflus has no idea what in the world he wants to do. Although my producer did run into the studio, then she ran back out. So I don't. Unless I missed something. She's over in Studio B, so I don't know. Anyways, as we're quickly bringing things here to a close on a short segment, just another day without you. Yes, that's the cicada line that usually Ryan likes to pick on. By the way, if I don't have it, dang it, I don't have it. I don't have the one, or do I? I don't think I do. It may have.
Coming from Tony Danza himself.
Exactly.
Fuji.
Exactly.
Who's the boss?
I'll find it later on. Maybe I'll share it back out there again. The one that Ryan sent. Yeah. Wise guy. Wise guy. Mickey says, I think Angel should be the water boy for the Commanders. Mickey. Why, Mickey? First, this one says burrito. Now I'm only good enough to be a water boy?
Mickey's got jokes. Huh?
Apparently. Joey B says, take care, fellas. Take care, Deb. Take care, Fuji. Fun show. Thank you, Joey B.
Thank you, Joey B.
Have fun tonight. He's, again, hockey coach, hockey dad. Is always doing all kinds of stuff. But listen, we wanted to just jump on real quick here. It's been a minute since I've been away. We'll see. Maybe Martinez Company comes back. We will see how the negotiations are going. Just saying. No, but you guys will see and hear me a lot on the Pete Shepard show in the morning. Hey, Fuji. It's TTLY, not TLTY. Holy Jesus. Oh, my God. All right. See? And right like that, it went off the rails. But no, listen, in all seriousness, you'll be hearing me a lot more with Pete Shepard in the morning. And then things will get kind of worked out and kinked out and all the good fun stuff. And then Martinez Company will be back at some capacity and or another. So I just want to make sure that I tell everybody that, yes, I miss everyone. I miss doing the show. It's been quite busy around these parts. And a lot of that I can't kind of really release. But it's been really, really busy. And that's why Martinez Company's been away for a little bit. But who knows? Maybe we'll pop out with another show this week. I don't know. I'm just saying it could be at a later hour. Could be on a Thursday night. No one knows. No one knows. We shall see. Oh, and I will also be jumping on from time to time with the Bleacher Brothers. So stay tuned at the 8 o'clock hour. I'm pretty sure AJ will put it out the days I'll be with him. But we'll be having fun with them as well. And Joey B says, TLTY, Fuji, hammered already on his Nostalgic 5 seltzer. Yeah, that's it, Joey. That's exactly it. So we will leave that comment there. What do I want to go out on? They'll
be serving that at Colorado State football games, by the way.
It could be. Could very well be. What do I want to...
Because the Rams football program could use a little pep.
They're going to need something. They are going to need something. That's for daggone sure. But anyways, thank you guys for all tuning in tonight. We do appreciate it. Again, it's just a fast segment this evening. I just want to say a quick hello to everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for making it a special evening tonight. Like I said, stay tuned as things will come around again. It'll come around. Put it in best terms. Enjoy the lights in the background there. Is just, again, the premiere night of something that could be somewhat big. But yes, and Ryan, of course, in his new palatial palace in New York, as he's saying hi to Roger Goodell. So thank you all for tuning in once again this evening. I can't thank you guys enough for making Martinez Company successful as it's been, and we hope to keep bringing stuff more around. So as I say, as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Also, don't forget to take care of one another, love each other, and whatever you do not drink and drive, don't text and drive. And we will see you sometime very, very soon. Don't forget, Pete Shepard in the morning from 7 to 10 a.m. on TBSN. Have yourselves an absolutely fantastic evening.
Time, yeah, and